Hello, everybody. It's me for day 2 of 13 days of ancient places healings with the gods and the angels. I have a new message today, and I was trying to research where I got because I didn't know anything about it, just like yesterday. Yesterday on day 1, we went to Mesopotamia, which dealt with the Nile, which is very relative and important for the work that I have done. It's almost like the beginning of the end, right? That's kind of what I think about starting on day 1 at the beginning of the end. Well, this is day 2 of our ancient history, our ancient places of the earth. Spirit guides these. I don't create these. I don't dictate where we go. This is very important work of the return of the gods. And so what came through today shocked me, just like everything else. And I truly did have to look it up and understand what's happening here. Because I've never been there. I have no idea, and it's not something I've heard about a lot of. Um, so I'm kind of reading it. Wow. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. So let me kind of here, I will go ahead and let you see me. I'm extremely exhausted and I just got out of school. But I'm gonna screen share with you, I think, maybe. So, and then the word, so okay, so where do I start? I am going to start with the message from Spirit and tell you where we're going today. I don't know what's gonna happen when we're there, but I'm gonna tell you what came through, okay? So I've called in the creator, I've called in the angels and the gods, and of course, Saint Germain is here with the Akasha records. We are literally housed and steeped in the Akasha records and these healings. Um, so Metatron, Malachi, Zeus, Poseidon, and Algonquin came through. Now, Algonquin is the white dragon that came through that they had me draw and tune into when I was octaving the pyramids and processing again that the Mount Shasta clearing was beating the red dragon and part of the San Andreas Fault and all that kind of stuff. So, and what came through, I think it was day 5 of octaving the pyramids was the red dragon. And right before that, I had literally drawn a dragon and I didn't know how to draw a dragon, but Spirit was like, do it. And I said, okay. So they showed me how. And it was Algonquin. So he came through today as well. So we have Metatron, Malachi, Zeus, Poseidon, and Algonquin. Okay. So the message that came through was this, let go of expectations and outdated vibrations. You are no longer the past. It's only now as we speak. Okay, so holding on to the past, it's like I was thinking this. It's like there are millions of excuses. You can sit here and say, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. You can work on it until the day you're dead. It's literally a decision in the moment. That's all we have. We have choices in the moment, and that's when we know we have cleared our karma, right? That's when we know we have learned the lesson because we actually can choose the choice in the moment. So I'm not big on excuses and always these things of, well, I'm working on it. It's like I'm trying, you know what I mean? You're putting in the minimal effort possible because you don't like to be uncomfortable, kind of a thing. That's what that makes me think of. So when they give this message, I think of that a lot. And it's also just holding on to some of the pain of the past and things like that, because sometimes we become creatures of habit and not everybody wants to be free from them, unfortunately. Some of us like playing the victim. We like feeling sad. We like feeling the victim. We like living in the trauma, and that's the truth, right? So we let go of expectations and outdated vibrations. You are no longer the past. It's only now as we speak. And people can always say, well, I haven't healed that. I haven't healed it. Things heal when they need to heal. You don't have to worry about that. What you have to worry about is being clarity in the moment and making the right choices when they rise. That's the testaments. That's Revelations 21:12. So ancient temples of Tibet is what came through today, okay? So let go of expectations, outdated vibrations. So this has to also do with that location, okay? Us as individuals, mankind, and also that location and why we're going there today. So we need to let go of expectations and outdated vibrations. Now, there's something interesting about these temples, ancient temples of Tibet. Now, I've heard of Tibetan bowls, I've heard of Tibet, I've heard of monks, I've heard of Buddha. You know, Buddha didn't believe in God, right? There's something there because I know God's real. I know this work is of God. I know God intimately. Like I really do. I've worked through him every day of this journey. So, I heard ancient temples of Tibet. And then I got this. So I started looking up Tibet, and there is ancient temples there, but it wasn't complete. Then I got libation. Libation. What is libation? Let's look up libation. I know what the word libation is, but we're going to look it up that way. Libations. It's like a drink, right? A drink poured out as an offering to a deity. Okay. Libations. Let me screen share these because this is important information. There was a couple words I had to look up and then specific temples I had to look up. Okay. So let me do that. So we have libations, a drink poured out as an offering to a deity. What is a deity? A god, a being. He poured the libation of rum on the ground, liquid offering. Liquid offering is very important to understand that. Because then they said sex rituals, worships of gods with bloodshed. Okay. So they said sexual rituals and worships of God with bloodshed. This is a processing thing, okay? Because I was like, oh, oh, this is way more than just the Tibetan temples, okay? So understand this. So I know that my words haven't been clearly heard. And there's been a lot of judgments coming my way, and everything I say, and I mean everything I say is very important. Yesterday's I said to please listen to my words. It actually came through. I watched it. It was literally just set the intention to hear my words. Like very important to hear my words. I think it was more important to hear the words and be present in it. Than just go where you wanted to go with it, right? Like very important to hear my words because they're very layered. This is the work of God. It's very, very layered. So if we want to understand the totality of what's happening and actually help people through these things or be that front line, it would require selflessness. It would require being absolutely present in the moment and paying complete attention to what is happening and not self-focused, but more internally focused, right? Does that make sense? So let go of expectations, outdated vibrations. This has to do with the temples of Tibet, ancient temples of Tibet. You are no longer the past. It's only now as we speak. Oh, excuse me, bless me. Then Spirit literally said libations, sex rituals, worships of gods with bloodshed. Okay, and then we have forgotten temples of underground nature, steeped in pragmatism and divine nature. I'm going to read that again. And then I looked up pragmatism as well because I'm like, pragmatism. Woo! Okay, so we have forgotten temples of underground nature. Underground. I looked that up too. Steeped in pragmatism and divine nature. Pragmatism, a pragmatic attitude or policy. It's an ideology, was tempered with pragmatism. So it's an approach that assesses the truth and meaning of theories of beliefs in terms of the success of their practical application. It's a philosophical tradition that views language and thought as tools for prediction. A philosophical tradition that views language and thought as tools for prediction. So this is telling me that maybe some things of not light went on there, and maybe they falsely guided people through dark beings pretending to be light. I'm not swear buying that, but that's what I'm feeling here, okay? Pragmatism and steeped in pragmatism and divine nature. school of philosophy dominant in the United States in the first quarter of the 20th century based on the principle that the usefulness, workability, and practicality of ideas, policies, and proposals are the criteria of their merit. It stresses the priority of action over doctrine, of achieving results. So getting things done, okay? In business and public affairs is often said to be pragmatic. There is a harsher and more brutal connotation of the term in which any exercise of power in the successful pursuit of practical and specific objectives is called pragmatic, okay? So let's listen to this again. Any exercise of power in the successful pursuit of practical and specific objectives. So what does that mean to me in the journey that I have been doing? Well, there are underground temples there. Okay. There's actually a lot of them. There's a lot of underground temples there. Okay. A lot of them. And they were I don't like that. They were used for meditations, ceremonies, ritualistic behaviors, so libation, pragmatism. Oh, here we are. Caves and sacred places in the Tibetan plateau. Although most of us think of Tibet as high plateau, right? Riven by high mountain chains wide open to the skies, it has deep hidden and underground dimensions as well. Numerous caves with extensive dark zones. Much of the plateau near Lhasa has a limestone geology, CA, where natural processes create caverns and rock shelters. Okay. Many of them in Tibet have also been created by people. For the first 2 millennia, at least, rock faces have been hollowed and used for domestic purposes and more commonly as shelters for monks, lamas, and other religious figures. The large majority of caves of the plateau, both natural and artificial, are key elements in the sacred geography of Tibetan Buddhism. Despite the importance of caves to both pre-Buddhist and Buddhist belief systems, we know surprisingly little of the antiquity of cave use in the plateau. Surprisingly little. 1970s, Chinese archaeologists began systematic work in the plateau. It says in here somewhere that they were used. So meditation caves and still others have ritual architecture within them. To better understand these caves, I turned to indigenous Tibetan and Buddhist thought for insight into how caves are perceived. Okay, Tibetans, like most people around the world, categorize the natural and built environment, mountains, lakes, rivers, boulders, vistas, and caves have symbolic and sacred meanings. Okay, Himalayans and ethnographers have noted a duality of sacred categories, a fundamental distinction between up into the mountains and down into the lowlands, below the peaks or beneath the surface of water. Mountains are the abode of gods and deities in both Tibetan Buddhist and pre-Buddhist belief systems, while spirits live beneath the water. In between people live a middle world of action and ritual. This tripartite division of the cosmos is common to many peoples around the world. Tibetan sacred geography has deep roots in antiquity. One of the most important features is the concept of nas, pronounced ne, of ne, ni, knees, translate as place. Okay, so there's lots of things you can actually read about them, but they are steeped in ritualistic history, some for meditation. Now, what Spirit says, right, is I'm going to read it one more time, and then we're going to get into the workshop. So I will go ahead and stop sharing. I just love Spirit, and I love the words they use sometimes. I'm like, ooh, let's do this. So this is what they said. Metatron, Malachi, and Zeus, Poseidon, and Algonquin. Let go of expectations and outdated vibrations. You are no longer the past, right? It's only now as we speak. So again, it's like an excuse is that I still need healing to be able to see clearly or make the right choices. It's a lie, and it's an excuse. It just depends on the purity of the heart. What is your true motivation? So let go of expectations, outdated vibrations. You are no longer the past. It's only now as we speak. Ancient temples of Tibet, libations, sex rituals, worships of gods with bloodshed. Remember, gods, not bloodshed. So these are the wrong gods. These were gods steeped in shadow at the time or something. Remember the pragmatism, power, control, purposes? So they were filling a purpose for power and control, basically. So forgotten temples of underground nature, steeped in pragmatism and divine nature. Okay, steeped in power, authority, and divine nature. So authority for a goal, future predictions, using the word of God to, at times, probably falsely direct people for the purpose of power. Okay. That's what we got there. I thought it was pretty cool. I hope you do too. All right, so now we're going to go into day 2, guided ritual healing. I don't know what's going to come through. I'm hearing to grab my drum, but that's not an easy feat here. Hang on. Oh. I'm like, oh, my thing fell. I don't know if I want to grab it. It's way back there. It's way back there. Let's see if I love it when things want to fall on the flow. And then I'm like, suck a fish. Now I gotta get you. You suck. Okay. Oh, oh, all right. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay. Got my drum. All right. So we are going to the Tibetan temples underground, as far as I know. So I call on the creator, the angels and gods, Poseidon and Zeus and Algonquin too, Malachi and Metatron, and me and you, all coming together in the space of healing light and the reset of mankind. We're cleansing out the bloodshed through the word and the light of the divine. It cannot be this way. It cannot be this way. For that land is very special. There are important energetic ley lines, which I didn't know, steeped in divine presence and beautiful earthly nature. For in Mother Nature, it is not okay to sacrifice the bloodshed of others, or to assume that God, the light, the divine, wants your libations. So come into this space, this pure, divine, sacred space, being willing to leave everything behind. From lies to false timelines to secrets and devotions that are not pure in the now. What excuses really work or matter? None. They're all a lie. Gambala wayala iete o. Gambala wayala iete o. So what I'm seeing is in Tibet, as I'm beginning today's healing, there's something there. It's a vibration underground, a vibration, a temple of light, a temple, a divine liberation, a vibration of light. There's a lot about Buddha that you don't know. Libation, sex parties, power control. It's where gurus were born. So we're bringing our energy in, completely protected, completely divided, separated, but for the purpose of this togetherness healing, into the space of the Buddhist temples of Tibet, So we're going to go on a journey steeped and underground through Tibet. And there is a crystal there that I will activate once again and turn back to light. So there were rituals there. There were rituals there, much like dark magic, but in a little bit of a different context. So this crystal, the deities, there were just things that were not pure light. And right now, it's still an abuse of power. There are also some souls trapped there. Echo, are there ley lines in Tibetan temples area?
From mysteryall.com, some scholars suggest these temples lie on what ancient cultures called ley lines, invisible energy meridians flowing across the earth, akin to spiritual acupuncture points.
So they are on ley lines. There's a crystal location there, deep in the mountain. Algonquin is present. So I'm getting the visual, and I want you to close your eyes and be present in the space and time. If you can follow my voice, that's all that matters. Please do not assume or dictate or create any situation that was not aligned. Just follow my voice. Follow my voice, my path, my voice, my light. Follow it. Closing your eyes and tuning into your chest for a moment in time. As the spirits, the angels, the beings of light, the three beings that were a part of yesterday into today, step forward at this time. Cutting cords, opening up the Akasha records of the earth and you. You will participate as much as you can, because we cannot bring duality through. So they like to take on the power of the gods. That's what they're showing me. Like rituals and even those spinny things and different things, and they would use vibrations, they would use intentions, but not always for the purest intent, for power. Misuse of holy shit. Did you hear that lightning strike? I'm I'm shaking. I'm back and I'm shaking. I paused the video, so I don't even know if you could tell, but I had to close my window. Like that was like at our house. I don't know what it hit, but it was the loudest lightning I think I've ever heard. So I'm sorry about that. It totally pulled me out. It actually scared me. And I have kids in the house, so I wanted to go check on them and make sure everybody was okay. And I'm literally shaking. So I'm gonna try to come back in, okay? So we are going to the Tibetan temples. I actually see this temple and then there's these stairs going down. So I'm going to try to take us back there, okay? So I got jolted out. I don't know if you did. Hopefully everything's all right. So I call back our energy to the space and time in which the interruption occurred, pure divine interruption. of another kind, let me tell you. I'm still kind of shaking, still kind of whew, heightened. Like it got me right in the gut. Like it was intense. Oh boy, was it ever intense. I'm just gonna raise this up. All right, so just get back to where our eyes are closed and we're kind of focused on the heart space. And I'm just guiding this through. That's all I do. Nothing but guide, guide, pure divine channeled guide. Into the heart of the land of the gods. So they use the power of this location for distortion and lies. Some bloodshed, there are some souls trapped there. No matter how steeped in darkness it was, it needs to be cleared. Out of the ley lines, out of the light of the divine. And something with Buddha. Purify Buddhist temple is what I'm hearing. So I want us to see ourselves above ground first. So imagine yourself in a temple. See, feel, sense us in a temple of pure divine presence above ground. So it's like at a mountaintop, and you can see all these cliffs and beautiful mountain ranges, and it's just quite beautiful. Lots of greenery, lots of trees up high in the sky in a temple. And I see some flags blowing in the wind, you know what I mean? Like hanging off of like the string type thing and blowing in the wind. And I see scribe hosts, so like these things where they would like and do like chanting. I am not Buddhist. I am of God. There is a difference. It's a religious sector, but a spiritual one as well. Kind of a little bit of both. Because gurus were born from this space. Like, you know, a guru, right? Gurus, it's not my favorite word to use. I am not a guru, but I am a true master. And I just want you to imagine yourself sitting in the center of this temple, and it has open archways and it has beautiful breezes. Oh, God forbid any more lightning occurs here. And it's like blowing through, and you can feel the breeze, and there's almost like this vibrational hum, almost like you can hear the deep om. Om. So an oming of the gods is coming in around us, like all of the gods with a nice, beautiful om. And I want you to feel and sense this om vibration coming through this temple. A ritual of true God. Om. Feel the vibration of the gods om going through this temple. You can feel it in the breeze and in the wind blowing around you. This oh. You're beginning to feel it, sense it, and know its presence through your feet on the floor of this temple as you sit there in the center. Oh. 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 It's a very powerful om that is moving the earth through vibration. It's awakening the energy of the gods in this area. Oh. And I I see the vibration of the gods Om floating through the energy lines of the lay spaces. It's awakening the ley lines, awakening the vibration of the land through this temple. There are spirits trapped here. So I do see a manipulation of power. I see people actually getting pushed out of the temple to their death. We're cleansing that. We're cleansing that. We're cleansing that now. There's no difference from there to other places where if you challenge the power, you meet a demise of sudden sacrifice. I'm seeing the sky like there's clouds above. There's lots of clouds. But then all of a sudden there's a breakthrough of this beautiful sun pillar of light to the center of this temple, through the sky, to the temple, to the land, to the energy lines. Sun, just a pillar of sun coming out of the sky, breaking through the clouds all around, above you and I. Focusing inward on your heart space, just see, sense, and feel this pillar of sun going down through the sky, breaking through the clouds into the center of this temple. And the most beautiful, vibrationally powerful of the gods is filling our space, filling our presence, making its way through our feet, through this temple, into our ankles, our calves, and our knees. This of the gods. There was a power of men of plenty, you see, a power of men of plenty, you see. It was men, it was power, a ranking, so to speak. And I see them falling off, not falling, being pushed. Sacrifice to the gods. They did. They did. For they believed if they went against their leader, the one who called himself the most important one, we'll say, they used them as a sacrifice to feed the power of what they perceive power of gods. the Om, the God vibration, rises through our calves to our knees and our thighs. Feel the Om. Feel the Om. Rising into the root chakra, the sacral and the solar plexus, the Om. A deep chanting Om. Vibration of the gods. Waking up the light. Waking up the earth. Waking up the leyland. So Om. Waking up the sky, the trees. Om. And just like I did yesterday, as the vibration of the Om continues to rise through our heart space, our throat, our third eye, and our crown, and all the way up to the higher chakra system as well, and into our auric field. We're becoming part of the gods. As I start to slow down the spin of the earth, the rotation, I'm slowing it down, I'm slowing it down, I'm slowing it down, I'm slowing it down, slowing it down. Oh. You see those spinny things they used for rituals and chanting. Some of the souls are trapped near those, like in the ground of the temple space. All around this space, they're trapped, they're stuck. Fragmented souls left as a sacrifice to a false god. Oh. For power, for control, for deceptiveness. Oh. Oh. As I begin to draw them out of the earth, the temple, the world around this space, all of the souls of sacrificial lamb, they need to rise, they need to rise to be free. They need to rise, they need to rise. Oh. Oh. Suddenly, I see a lightning bolt and a crack into those spinning things. I lose the word. It doesn't want to be present. Scries? They keep calling them scries. But they're like being struck down for their karmic demise. And I'm seeing one soul rise and rise and rise to the heavens above. And another soul follows with love and freedom. Freedom. Oh. The beings of light that are providing us with the healing are also starting to pull out emotional ties of the timeline as I start to take us backwards in time, just like yesterday, starting to pull this space a little bit backwards in time through history to bring it forward into the now. It's almost like bringing all of its past into the now, right? But it's also showing me like I'm reversing the time and bringing it all into the now and purging what was done. Yeah, power, control, and the word of religion and the word of spirituality, the word of deities and the name of light. used for their beneficial sacrifice. I'm starting to see raindrops falling out of the sky with that pillar of the sun opening up the skyline. Just raindrops so powerful and cleansing coming down all over this temple. And the vibration of the passing through our energy. I can hear it in my voice. It's different. It just sounds different. You may not want to believe Buddha did the sacrificing. So when I see Buddha, I see him loud and clear. And I see bloodshed with his hands being responsible that he now must clear. He tapped into the light. There's a crystal here. There's a crystal. There's a ley line. There's a crystal. There's a ley line, an energy center. And underneath this temple we are in, we are going to walk down soon underground and clear the rest of the souls and any darkness and any bloodshed. It's in the karma where it belongs. Undoing the past and bringing it forward. Undoing the past at last and setting it free. Bringing it into the now, because that is all we have. For it is the great reset of mankind. So there are temples here. There are also steps, lots of stairs taking us all the way down. For this temple above ground, there is temples underneath in the ground. So off to our behind us to the right, slightly behind us to the right, is a stairway appearing that our beings of light are going to guide us down. So you can imagine yourself getting up, standing up in this temple with the vibrational frequency of getting louder and attuning our energy more and more and more and more, carrying the vibration of the gods with the Om. The Om, the Om alone is enough to cleanse energy, enough to purge what doesn't belong. And it is pouring through this entire temple. And I even see it burning to the ground. So as we get up, to stand up, to walk down these stairs, I see the rooftop catching on fire. We need to burn, we need to purge, it needs to burn once and for all. So all of the bloodshed is being called back through Buddha's hands. He's responsible somehow, some way. The modern day guru. As we find our way to the steps, we start walking down, down, one step at a time, down, left foot to right, down, feeling the Om of the gods, amplifying with every step we take. And as we leave that temple, it begins to burn, 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 burn to the ground. Remember the ray of the sun peering into the center. It's burning to the ground. A purification, an undoing of what was forsaken. So as we're walking down the steps, we're walking down the steps, we're walking down, down, down. The temple above us that is burning and burning and burning to the ground is getting farther and farther and farther away. And as we are going down further and further towards the earth, towards inside the earth, we are getting closer and closer and closer to what's in the ground, to what is in the earth. The most powerful ley lines this area has ever found. Oh, oh, oh. The vibration of the Om is getting so profound that you can see the rocks moving, vibrating with the sound. The trees are swaying gently from left to right with the Om. It's time now to completely undone all that has been done. There is a trapped energy here as well of feminine nature. Being devalued, censored, censorship, devalued, and used. Almost like a sex trafficking thing in a way, if you will. Like property. And I will use you how I want to use you. And this is what they would do with the power, the light, the control, predicting of futures, using the word of God to seem almighty and powerful, summoning deities through ritualistic behavior and bloodshed, bringing fear through the word of the divine. For it wasn't truly a main god they worshipped, but many a god. So I'm healing the wound of the mother, of the feminine, of Mother Earth and Gaia all around. For as we're going down the steps, we're making our way to the underground, the belly of the temple sound, where it's deep in the Om, deep in the Om, deep in the Om. So as we're making our way into the underground, it got dark. But you see, it's not really dark for you and me because I have the flame of the divinity. the divine flame of the one. And that is what I'm going to place in the crystal, deep in this earth. So it's gotten dark, but now we can see through the light of the flame of the divine, the divinity, the pureness, purity, pureness, purity of the one. Hola ieta onko paila uieta ila onto wela ia. Wela ia. You see, even age didn't matter with the feminine energy here. They were young. Kampaila ieta wela onto wia kantayo. Wela i. They believed the younger it was more fertile ground. Kumbala wela ienta uya wela ia. You will have my baby, I hear the masculine power control of the sound. Oh, I'm so sorry. So what I'm seeing is the power and control that was here. It was like this belief that all of these women need to have my baby. So almost like this weird multiple wives, but I don't marry any of them. They just do what I want them to do. They bear my fruit. And anybody who didn't like it, anybody who winced against it. And of course, it wasn't in the public eye, but they were either condemned or sacrificed. Fertile ground, that's what he called it, fertile ground. Hondo. Honda yela wela onto wela canto. So there's many lifetimes like this there. It lasted for many a lifetime, many a moon, many a sun. For I see a dynasty coming from the past being brought forward. Remember the timeline I'm pulling and pulling us through the timelines. There's a dynasty. And a ruler. A ruler, a great ruler that led his people into sacrificial tendencies, into a world that was steeped in power of control, much like we're in today, but a little different for that time. Control of food, territory, women. Getting rid of the ruler of the dynasty. As we make our way to this crystal, So we are deep now, deep in the earth. It's dark except for the white flame shining the way. And there's a bit of water. I see water on the ground. So the ground is just simply moist, like a cleansing water coming in through the stones, through the rocks, the earth, bringing cleansing. Remember, I told you there was rain coming down, rain coming down, rain coming down. So the temple above has burnt, it's burnt, it's burnt, it's burnt down. And the fire has calmed. It was only for that one temple. Kumbaya wheel to the wile eo. Kumbala o. Kumbala wayan taya liat the way kantoyo. Kumbala e. Because you see, to take the power away from God is not of God at all. For Buddha wanted you to worship him, but he didn't himself believe in a God. He believed in deities and other gods and power and a divine nature, but how can you take that away from the Creator? So they're taking away his throne. That is his karma. Undoing of the Buddhist throne. Undoing of the Buddhist throne. And I see some more souls being set free out of the underground temples. And as we're reaching the heart of the underground temples, I'm given a key again. And I take this key that's very large and I stick it into, it looks like the core of the earth, but also a crystal. So it's like both together into this crystal and also through the core of the earth. And I turn it 1/4 turn clockwise. And before I can proceed, the beings of light are pulling other strings out of our heart center that are associated to these timelines. So bloodlines, energy of the past, history steeped in divine nature that does not belong, a duality temple, removing it from the DNA of the earth and all of mankind. Undoing the history, a great rewind, a great reset of mankind, and Buddha has lost his throne. So out of his hands, there was like blood pouring out of his hands. Buddha. So we've made it to this crystal that I put the key in. And the divine flame is in my hand. It's very large. And purity, purity, purity of the divine. For I can see all things in these underground taverns, in these underground Tibetan temples with the light of the flame. And within this crystal, there is a, like, what looks like, okay, so it looks like, I want to say that it looks like there's something dark inside, but it's as if there's a soul trapped. I know that sounds weird, but that's what I see. So I see like this dark energy inside this crystal, and it looks like there is a soul trapped. And I almost want to say it's a part of Buddha. And it has something to do with this dynasty and other timelines too. So maybe it's connected to many things, not just one. So I'm about to put the white flame into the crystal, and as I do that, it's going to fill all the ley lines with the white flame. The light of the moon and the sun, and aligning it. So the key going in and turning it clockwise, it's also going to recalibrate this energy here. It's going to raise the vibration. It's going to set it free from history. It's going to set it free from the duality of history. So that's what we're doing here. We're healing through this Tibetan place, the beauty of the nature of what it truly is, the light of the one, and we're bringing the divine flame back here. So if you watch all my work, the divine flame was taken and forsaken, and we have brought it back. It was rebirthed at Lake Titicaca, as I've shown you. It was returned. And so we are bringing the white flame back here through this crystal in the ground, deep in the temples, in the underground of the Tibetan sanctuary. And it's connected, I'm releasing, excuse me, through all of the ley lines here. So I'm going to begin now to put this flame into the crystal. And as I do that, it's going to burn and purge, not burn, but it's a white flame. It's going to purify. It's going to purify this crystal and remove all duality and whatever this energy is that was in it. I don't even want to say it was trapped here. I want to say it was created here on purpose. It was brought in. It was called in through ritualistic behaviors, sacrifices, libations, different things like that. And it was used for power and control and manipulation, like it would act like a poison apple, right? And the energy of temptations. And so I see like almost like a tornado energy, just like just some wind picking up from the center out, just a nice, beautiful, powerful breeze. And I still hear the Om of the gods all around us as I take this flame and I split it in two in both of my hands, and my masculine energy represented with mine, and I put it right into this crystal. And I allow this white flame of purity of God to purge all that was done here and to reverse the hands of time, cleansing out and undoing history of a darkened line. And as it's filling this crystal, it's going through the ley lines and it's purging all duality. It's purging what doesn't belong and it's setting it free. It's undoing history through these ritualistic temple areas. It's undoing the history of duality. It's undoing the history that doesn't belong. And it's setting this whole area free. It's purifying it. And so the white flame is like spreading like wildfire through all of these energy lines here. And then it's going through every tree and every temple. And it's just purifying. Just absolutely purifying. And I hear the Om getting louder and louder and more vibrant of the gods. And that vibration of the Om of the gods is helping to also purify the land, other temples, the trees, the sky, the raindrops coming down and cleansing ever so gently and beautifully and powerfully, all at the same time. And it's just cleansing and purifying, cleansing and purifying. And then I see the blood continue to shed through Buddha's hands because his hands were responsible. So it's like karmic kickback. He has to pay that sacrifice. And his throne is undone. His reign, they said his reign is undone. It's all undone. Does it mean Buddha will not exist? I feel like he still will exist. I feel like the power that he harnessed, the power that he had, the power that he somewhat took and manipulated, even if given his own, is all undone. So he just lost that connection in a very divine way. And paying back his karmic line. The history here has been undone. And I see the white flame just going poof, poof, just purifying everything through this crystal in this area. It's like the power center of this area. And I see the trees becoming more vibrant. And I see the energy, the air becoming more pure and cleansed. And all this false energy of like electricity or anything that may be around, these false vibrations being undone with the white flame and the power of the gods. Om. The God's Om vibration is very cleansing, resetting all of its own, accompanied with the white flame filling up this space and undoing all that was done. And there is a few more souls rising up and just rising up to be set free. There's also beautiful waterfalls somewhere. I can hear it. I can hear it. I can feel it. I can feel the energy, and it's just being purified and cleansed. And the reign of the dynasty, all of this steeped in history energy just being purified and undone. And bringing everything into the now. So remember, the earth started to stand still. So we're just allowing it to re-establish full connection. All ley lines filled with the pure flame of white, the pure divine flame, divinity. Pure light returns. And the God's Om will echo and resonate through this place for quite some time. Purging, realigning, cleansing, awakening, setting free. Any contracts that were here undone, setting everything free. So from Mesopotamia to Tibetan to Tibet, the temples of Tibet. An energetic line connection that was definitely not expected, but there is one now. It's quite beautiful. Everything just feels so pure, so divinity, and allow your energy to soak that up as they are purging connections of time out from our energy, out from our DNA, out of the earth, out of the Akasha records for the earth and for those involved. We have set Tibet free. We have set it free. So there's a lot of other history and timelines I didn't bring forward. Like I see different things, but it's always been known that there's power here. It's always been known that there was energy here, and it was used sometimes for good and sometimes for other things that were not of the purpose of light. So into the heart, this beautiful light. So it's like connecting Tibet to the heart of God. So as we're going to these locations, it's bringing them into New Earth. It's connecting this space, this divine sacredness, into the heart of God. Pure duality is undone. All of history is undone. And I feel like power was returned and reestablished here for what it should be. Back to the land and the eternity, the ethereal, the all-connectedness of the sun and the moon and the light of the one. And then I feel like the sun, remember that pillar of sun, like the sky just opening up, the energy becoming clear in the air, and the sun just engulfing this place with beauty and grace and healing and DNA. And as we start now to walk back up those stairs, we're going to walk back up the steps as we thank the earth. We leave the God's Om vibrating through these temples, through the earth, through the ley lines, and the white flame will continue to purify and activate and awaken this area fully. Like a return of pure light, pure power into the divine. No duality. All souls set free. There wasn't lots and lots of souls, but there were a few. and they're all set free. But there was like a collective feminine trapped energy that we also purified and set free. So for all the women of this area, they're free. They're going to feel that. They're going to heal through that, through Mother Earth. And the men too. And the men too. Reestablishing pure divine love, unconditional love, a balance of nature, of masculine and feminine, and of light, the white flame. And that crystal is just vibrating and glowing. And I can hear the om of the gods vibrating through. And as we walk up these stairs, every step that we take, we are also healing with the white flame through this energy. And Tibet has been returned home to the light of the heart of the One, because this work was done. Can't bring duality forward. So we are healing ancient places, awakening ancient places, clearing the history, undoing it, resetting mankind, returning power to where it belongs, balance, restored, purging, cleansing souls, setting them free, and healing it through our genetic composition, our Akasha records, our energy, and any timelines that we may have had in the past connected, like through past lives, ancient history, our ancestors, but it affects all mankind because we're connected. So when you do this work, it should help through others as long as you are choosing light. To carry anything outside of light into this work, it's dangerous territory because we're undoing duality. And that's for me too. And then I see a beautiful, just like what looks like a white dove fly out of the heart, out of my heart, and just beautiful bird, just beautiful pure white bird flying all over Tibet, all over these temples, all over this area. When we make our way up the steps to align once again with ourselves. But we aren't ending, we are connecting, we are integrating, inputting, integrating, connecting, and flowing through these spaces. So there is no undoing. We're just going to walk up these steps and kind of connect to the here and the now with our physical selves and leave pieces of our energy here because it's a connected line through all 13 days. So we have Mesopotamia. I still feel that in my energy. And now hidden temples of Tibet, which I had no idea about, never thought about. I mean, I've heard of Tibet, but who would have thunk? So beautiful. And I just feel so proud. Like I feel so established, like accomplished something. We return this place back to God. We return this part of earth back to the pureness of the light of the One, the white divinity, the flame of all connectedness, pure light, no more duality. Cleansed the past, purged it. And I don't know what's up with this keys, but we got one yesterday and one today. So just give your body space to integrate, climb up those steps, meet yourself at the top, coming back to the wholeness of you and allowing the energy to continue forward. If you're having challenges, it's because those are the things you have not established to learn. And you can always have excuses, but it's as simple as a choice, choosing to see and choosing love. In every moment, we're giving the opportunity. It's a choice. And then when you do that, healing occurs, especially when it's something that keeps circling back around. So make your way up the steps, kind of becoming whole with ourselves, but also in these spaces. So we are a little bit scattered around energetically, but that's okay. We're carrying this light. We're carrying this connection. We're bringing everything into New Earth, undoing history, undoing the timelines, and healing ancient places, truly awakening ancient. So here's the thing about that is as we clear out duality from these hidden spaces, we're also awakening ancient wisdom within us every day, more and more and more. Okay, bringing us back into the wholeness of God. So giving ourselves permission to awaken ancient wisdom, but it can't be faked. Like it can't be assumed. It has to be truly aligned to within you, the divinity, the light, here and the now only. Choices of love as they rise. choosing. I can see love, and I can see giving my power to the shadow, and how the shadow takes my power and how I give it to the shadow, and I choose light. And then I just got like this golden rainbow necklace put on my neck as I end this one out. So day 1, Mesopotamia, the Nile, Sea of Gibraltar. Day 2, Tibetan temples underground and above ground too. Clearing what was done. Oh, I love this so much. So make your way back to yourself, get to where we can open our eyes. We are still a little bit in both places. And yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you for being with me for day 2. What a beautiful experience. So much love, and I will see you guys next time.